Good day, I'm Engineer Ejike Ejowa. I'm welcoming you to our online tutorial on software development. Kindly watch our tutorial. We shall be looking at JavaScript variables, data types, and operators. Instructor/coordinator Engineer Ejike Ejowa, powered by Majpadeco Global Services. Objective: to help learners understand how to declare and use JavaScript variables, identify and work with different data types, and apply arithmetic, comparison, and logical operators to perform basic computations and decision-making in web development. Introduction. One of the fundamental skills in JavaScript is understanding how to store data, that is, using variables. Describe the kind of data, that is, data types, and manipulate data, that is, using operators. These are essential for building logic and interactivity in web development. Variables. Variables are containers for storing data values. In JavaScript, we use let for block scope variables, which is recommended, const for constants that do not change, var other way function scope less prefer. Data types. Common JavaScript data types include: we have the string, that is text, like if you want to write hello, and we have number, that is numeric values, like 42, 3.14. We have boolean, that is true or false. Then we also have undefined, that is declared but not assigned. And we have null, explicitly nothing. Operators. We have arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, backslash, and percentage. We have comparison like equals to, greater than, less than, greater or equal to, less than or equals to. Then we have logical, which is expressed by and sign, double and sign, then two strokes, and we also have exclamation mark. Coding example. As you can see on your screen, we are going to input this code you are seeing into our coding environment. At the coding environment, that is our VS Code, then we shall have the index.html file and also our script.js file. So inside the HTML file, if you type exclamation mark with the shift key simultaneously, it will display the doctype HTML code. So you don't need to program it. Then what you need to do at this point is to input the necessary code that you will need for your work. So here we are going to the title bar. We will now write in between the title open and close tag. We will now write JS output example. Then this is fine at the head section. Then when you come to the body section, you now write our code. We have in between the H2 open and close tag. We will now write JavaScript output demo. Then we also have our dev in the body section. We will now have dev space ID is equals to info inside a quotation mark. Then we will now close our dev. This is a code that interacts with the JavaScript section. Then here now we now have our code for linking the HTML and the JavaScript section. We have script space src is equals to quotation mark script.js quotation mark close. Then we now close our script open tag. Then we now have our script close tag. Then we now have our body, also have our HTML close tags respectively. At our JavaScript section, script.js coding environment. Then we have our code as you can see on the screen. Let name is equals to quotation mark open, AGK quotation mark close. Then we now put our semicolon. Then we also have let age is equals to 30. We also have our semicolon. Then we also have let is student equals to true. Then we also have a semicolon. Then we also have another code. Let sum is equals to h plus 5. Then we also have our semicolon. Then we also have the code that we use to display the output on the web page. That is, we have our document.getElementById. What we are saying here is that we should get the information on our dev, that is this HTML, this particular information that is here now, this ID, dev info. So we are asking it to display this information that we are going to write here now. Like in this case, we have document.getElementById, that is the ID in the HTML, this particular ID now. So this position where this dev is, we are asking the script to get this information here. So then what information are we going to display at the dev? That is now what we are trying to ask the JavaScript to display for us. Then as usual, we have document.getElementById and info. dot inner HTML is equals to, then we have name. Then this BR here is a code that is telling JavaScript to move to the next line. Then the first line above here is name is equals to HK. Then we are asking the code that we don't want this h plus 5 equals to sum to be in the same line with name here. So this PR is telling the code to move to the next line. And what is our next line? H plus 5. Then is equals to sum. Then the same PR is asking me to move to the next line. That is a student. Then we also have another code here. That is logging output into the console. So we have our console.log here. Then we have also our console.log is equals to name. Then we also have console.log for sum. So here we are telling the browser, or we are trying to write a code that when you go to console.log, you will see this information, name and sum, display at the console. So let's save our work. You save your work in both the HTML and the script. You save our coding. Then we now move to the web browser and we refresh our web browser. So as you can see, we have JavaScript output demo. This is what we have at our H1 code in the HTML. This information here, H2. This information H2 is equals to this information at the body section H2. Open that, in between it we now have JavaScript output demo. So the H2 close. So this is what we have here at the web page. JavaScript output demo is for H2. Then this information name is equals to HK, age plus 5 giving us 35, and is a student, true. So this information here now is from the JavaScript code. This information is from this code here that we have. Let name is equals to HK, let age is equals to 30, and let a student equals to true. Then we now have let sum is equals to age plus 5. So this code that we have in the JavaScript here, then by the help of this particular info, which is this dev here, because you can see from the web browser, you will see that the information is below the JavaScript output demo. So that is the arrangement that we have at the HTML section. Then when we right click our web page, then and click inspect, then when we click at cursor when we click at cursor, you will see name is equals to AGK and sum is equals to 35. This information here is as a result of this particular code that we have at the JavaScript session. This code here, that is why we are getting this, because this is cursor.log name cursor.log sum. So that is why when you come to the web browser and you go to the cursor, which is at the back end of the web browser, you will see name AGK sum 35. The code let name is equals to AGK. This creates a variable called name. It stores the text value AGK. Think of it like writing someone's name on a label. Then the next code, let age is equals to 30. This creates another variable called age and store the number 30 in it. Let is student true. This stores a true and false value called a boolean. Here, it means the person is a student. Let sum is equals to age plus 5. This creates a new variable, sum. It adds 5 to the value of age, that is 13 plus 5, which is equals to 35, and store it in sum. Document.getElement by ID info.html. This is how we display our output on the web page. Document.getElement by ID info finds the HTML element with the ID info. Inner HTML fills the elements with a new HTML content, that is $name. This is called a template literal. It allows you to insert variable directly inside the string using the $sign and curly bracket open and close. The results will be displayed as you see from the screen: name AGK, age plus 5, 35, and student true. On the actual web page, inside the elements with ID info, cursor.log name, cursor.log sum. These lines print information to the browser cursor. This doesn't appear on the page. It helps developers see what is happening behind the scene for testing and debugging. You can open the cursor by right-clicking on the page, then you go to Inspect, then you also go to Cursor tab, and you will now see the information displayed there. In this video, we explore some of the most essential building blocks of JavaScript. Here is a quick recap of the major points. JavaScript variables. We said the variables are containers used to store data values. We create variables using let for variables that can change, cost for variables that should not change, var an old way not recommended for modern use. Naming rules. 1. It must start with a letter or a $sign. Cannot start with a number. They are case sensitive. For instance, name with capital letter is different from name with small letter. They are not the same thing. Then from the table, we can see the different JavaScript data types as earlier explained. In the next video, we will dive into control flow statements, if/else, switch and loops. Thank you for watching our tutorial. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share and comment for one-on-one training on software development and affiliate marketing, or if you wish we build your website for you, kindly contact us on 080-3642-2829. We also partner with Azinonet Limited, African First Digital Contributory Scheme, where we show you how to raise capital for that business of your dream. Thank you. May God bless you all.